Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO, and today we're going to be taking a look at the how to play the Chrysler GF video, whatever this thing's called. I keep calling it the Chrysler K, but it's actually called the Chrysler GF, whatever, I don't really care. But yeah, this tank is the source of the whole shitstorm that has gone down on YouTube, because of the, copyright threatening from, Wargaming EU, and Wargaming NA basically confirmed that, oh yeah, if we think it's necessary, we will copyright strike your video. Wargaming NA said that, and Jingles has basically abandoned the community contributor program because Wargaming NA didn't know to, well, didn't know to keep their mouths shut essentially. Well, I guess it's not really surprising considering they're Americans, but all they needed to do was nothing and it would have been fine. But because Wargaming NA opened their mouths, we now have Shitstorm Mark II going around. And if you don't know what that is, Wargaming NA basically came up with a bunch of bullshit claims on Fosh, like accusing him of things he did not do. They were asked to come up with some sort of examples of Fosh using some kind of like homophobic slurs and stuff, but they came up with literally nothing. So they were just pulling that out of his ass. They were pulling that out of their ass purely to basically slander Fosh's reputation. That's basically what they did, and this is the tank that caused that entire shitstorm. I can't believe it has gone this far. I can't believe the YouTubers who have talked about this. I mean, some gigantic channels which I've never, honestly I hadn't heard of a few of them until, not gonna lie, I'd never heard Total Biscuit, I'd never heard of him before, but apparently that's a gigantic YouTube channel that's mentioned this here on Twitter, and yeah, I never expected this game to get that much attention, but it's not exactly good attention. Like, I mean, Wargaming has slowly been trying to grow their grand finals thing, and this is not good attention to have just before, well, basically your version of esports for your game. Not great attention to have before that. If anything, there is this statement going on like any kind of press is good press. Not necessarily. This is going to piss a lot of people off, but yeah. And this is the tank that caused this entire shitstorm to happen. And right now, I'm just going to try and take the piss out of this video a wee bit, considering some of the things they say in it. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly lower the volume so that it's not as loud as it could be. So I'm going to let this play, and I'm basically going to take the piss out of some of the points they make while they are talking. So let's go ahead with this.
Promise to be intense. It will not only
So yeah,
be a spectacular show,
the bulk of the start of this here is just them bragging about how the Chrysler K is basically a luxury Chrysler.
The Chrysler exterior fits its
we
name
hear
pretty well. This is indeed a Chrysler. Big, black, with the logo on its hood. Looks pretty stylish. A powerful engine and excellent front armor are standard features.
The way they talk about like the fucking style and stuff like that is kind of like, I never use the word, but the way, like, I honestly kind of just like face palmed a bit with the first time I ever watched. Sorry, I drank a Pepsi just before recording this. Not a good choice. So yeah, the way they talk about this here, I never use this word ever, but it was a wee bit cringy, and I did face palm a wee bit whenever I was watching this for the first time. I was just like, geez, we're really wargaming. You serious about this shit? And yeah, a lot of the balancing choices they made with this tank, I can understand why Bosch is pissed. I wouldn't have said it in the same way as him, but yeah. Look at the tanks they're using to justify this here. Look at the tanks. T62A, 113, Groundwagen, things shit like that there, Conway, T62A, Panzer 7, E75. All of those tanks have over 240 pen, as far as I can remember. All of them have over 240 pen. So, my question is, how on earth is a tier 6 or 7 supposed to fight this thing? Don't forget, this is the same company who didn't put the mouse chin in probably about 2 years ago now, whenever that thing was initially revealed, because, quote unquote, it was too strong against tier 7s. The armor was too strong versus tier 7s. That was 2 years ago. Look at it now. They don't give a fuck. I don't know. I mean, this thing's armor is ridiculously strong versus tier 8s, never mind tier 7s and 6s. I mean, like, the damage black totals that I've seen in some of the games in this thing here are just ridiculous. Like, we see this here, like, I was going to talk about, like, the diamond positioning, like, how, like, angling the armor will make it more effective and all, and, like, when you're driving 40, if you're driving the diamond, angling, then you can bounce a lot more shots in your armor. Like, I mean, look, it's on 8,500 damage blocked. I mean, holy crap, 9,000, it's over 9,000 now. No, tier 8's finding out as well. Tier 8's can't do shit versus this thing either, especially tier 8 mediums. And now, they're telling people basically to hide the lower plate, because the lower plate is technically the weakest area. But I say weakest area with air quotes, mainly because, well, weak on this tank is still over 210mm effective. For tier 8s, that's a 50-50. And if it's something like a Tiger 2, because the Tiger 2 is likely taller than this thing, has a gun mounted higher than this thing, that probably would be about 220, 230 effective armor, which basically makes this thing impenetrable for a Tiger 2. Unless the Tiger 2 is on lower ground. That's about it. That's the only exception to that rule. So yeah. This video, kind of a joke if I'm totally honest. Let's see.
To expose your upper glasses
TVP 5051, Voice Expaden, Kranwagen, and the only tank to penetrate out of all those tanks was the Waffenträger Panzer IV, and that was with this tank not angling its armor, just flat towards it, upper front plate. The shot went through with the Waffenträger Panzer IV. But something to take note of, that did 605 damage. That 80% likely, I would say, was the Jagdtiger gun, the Tap Jagdtiger gun, the 276 pen gun. So yeah, not exactly a great example to use for like, oh yes, tanks can actually penetrate this tank, whenever the highest pen tier 8 is the ISU 152, and the ISU 152 is probably like the ISU 152. The issue with that tank there is hitting the area you would need to hit to penetrate with that thing's gun. You would need to be at point blank range, and at point blank range this thing's so quick they could maneuver an ISU 152. And the ISU 152 would maybe get one shot off, and even that is probably a 50-50 to go through. So yeah. This thing's going to be fun to fight in every tank, yay! Even the highest pen tier 8 tank destroyer is going to struggle. And now they're going to talk about the side armor, and how whenever you angle this thing, even Waffenträger Panzer IVs, I was, and he actually just killed the Waffenträger Panzer IV, so it couldn't show if the tank could be penetrated by something of that caliber when it's angled like this here. So we'll never know whether or not the Waffenträger Panzer IV could actually penetrate, because he killed it. You can see its flaming rack there on the left hand side on that building in front of that tier 9 medium, tier 9 10 medium tanks. Yeah, you can just see its corpse there on fire. And now they're bragging about how tier 9 and 10 heavies and mediums can't actually penetrate this tank. Yet again, they wonder why people were so pissed off about this, and why Fosh made the video about it. Oh, he deliberately showed his side armor to get let them pay him once. Great. And also, note the tank of choice here to show that the front armor is weak. Air quotes again. That's an E50M. E50M is the highest pen tier 10 medium in the game. Surely, if there were any other tanks that could penetrate this thing frontally, you would have used those tanks and not the highest pen tier 8 medium in the game, or tier 10 medium in the game. This is a tier 8 tank. You're showing its armor off versus tier 10s. Yet again, what the fuck is a tier 8 or tier 6 supposed to do versus this thing? How did they not test this? At least, like, the most mind-boggling thing for this year for me is it has great side armor and great front armor. If it had like say a 50mm low front plate or something like that there, I'm exaggerating a wee bit with that, say 100mm or something like that, it would have been fine. It would have had a front weak point that people could take advantage of. Or if it had really weak side armor and kept the really good frontal armor. If it had, say, 30mm of side armor, then that would make sense. It would have some sort of weak point. But they did not do that. They gave it both. They gave it the really strong side armor and the really good front armor, which makes this thing pretty much invulnerable to all but the highest paying guns at tier 9 and 10.
It won't care about the angles. It will easily make holes in your luxurious Chrysler. Also,
yep, there's that. I don't know why they keep calling it luxurious. It's a really stupid thing to be saying about this. And also they mentioned the weakness of the engine. Not really much of a weakness if people don't pierce your arm in the first place. I mean, if you can't pin the tank in the first place, if it's in a place where it can hide the lower front plate, you aren't going to be able to damage the engine unless you outflank it. But this tank is so quick, even with a damaged engine, it'll be able to turn to traverse and get the front armor pointed towards you. And if you have less than 215 pen, roughly, then you're not going to be able to go through. So yeah, just pointing that out. And notice here, if you look down here, you can see the turret is actually pointed to the left. So the first shot that pans here by the mouse, somewhere over there, that is not due to the actual front, like the front of the turret is not actually pointed towards the vehicles right now. It's actually pointed to the left hand side for some bizarre reason. I'm not sure why you would do that when you're testing a vehicle. But yeah, the turret's pointed to the left in order to basically give them a chance to penetrate one shot. So you'll see here now the mouse will go pen a shot. See? And then they start angling the turret towards the enemies, and it starts bouncing every single shot that's fired at it from this point on. I mean, look at the tanks it's bouncing. I mean, holy crap. And this is pretty much an irrelevant part of the video, because on every map, pretty much in the game, there is a position where that you can use where gun depression does not matter. And this tank's armor is strong enough to use any of those positions with no real effort. I mean, look at this position here. This position here, this tank is invulnerable to everything but artillery and a really, really lucky 120mm shot, potentially hitting the whole roof. That is the only weakness this thing has, and that's a really, really situational weakness. And now they're going to brag about the insane part of weight ratio, so they've already showed off the massive top speed, or not top speed, massive armor, and now they're going to show off the acceleration and stuff, and they're wondering why people are bitching about this thing, saying it's so overpowered. I mean, look at this thing, it's actually going to overtake the M4 Rev if this went on for longer. And this is a really good point. I hadn't actually thought of this originally, but after watching this video I was just like, oh yeah, this thing is actually really, really quick. It's always going to have the positional advantage. It's always going to have that at the start of the game. It's going to be able to choose its engagements. It's going to be able to put itself in a position where it can dictate the terms of combat. Because it's so quick, it's going to be able to climb hills and stuff so quickly. I mean, think of this thing on Himmelsdorf. Himmelsdorf encounter. This thing's going to be at the top of the hill before. In fact, this thing's going to be at the top of the hill before some medium tanks. And that's not an exaggeration. 20 horsepower per ton. T-54 is 20 horsepower per ton. I mean, most mediums don't have that kind of horsepower per ton ratio, so this thing's going to beat some mediums to the top of the hill. So, and then when it gets to the top of the hill, if it's able to get to the side scraping position at the top of the hill, where the to the left hand side, or well, like if you're coming up from the I can't remember how the map is positioned right now. I think it's the north base on the map. If you're coming up to the to the what would you call the building top of Himmelsdorf? It's like on the building top of Himmelsdorf, you know, the pile of rubble beside it, not the low road where you can get shot in the side by the people down below you. If you go to the place where there's rubble, if you get yourself in a side scraping position there in this tank, you are going to be basically invincible to everybody who is firing at you, pretty much. I mean, like that's a pretty realistic thing that could happen. I'm just gonna let this play again because I can't get distracted there. Well, no shit, Sherlock.
The new American also handles nicely in city driving. Excellent dynamics
And also,
allow it to roll out from
this
cover
here,
and get back into
notice
cover.
at this point here, they have this part up here, but the ammo capacity and the ammo type that's loaded is not shown. I find that interesting because if you look here, that shot could have been an AP round. I don't know. This shot here, there's no chance that was an AP round. I think there's 25% RNG on standard AP rounds. This tank rolling the highest AP round pain it can get. It has about 245 pain, I would guess. So yeah, the turret front in the Object 252, 250. So that's not what happened there. Not possible without an APCR round. And now they're bragging about how quickly the gun aims and stuff like that there. This tank could have been so easily balanced. This whole shitstorm could have been avoided if Wargaming just bothered to balance the tanks properly. All they needed to do was give it a weak lower front plate. That would have fixed all of the issues. That would have literally fixed all the issues. Or they could have made the machine guns weak points on the left and right of the hull. They didn't do that, and that's what caused this entire shitstorm. You have to acknowledge this tank is the cause for this entire shitstorm situation. Like, the whole reason why all this stuff is happening right now is because Wargaming failed in balancing a fucking tank. And honestly, I said Fosh was right to be pissed off about this thing, because it's bullshit that this thing is balanced the way it is. It really is. Like, this thing here is balanced extremely poorly. I mean, if this thing had a 120mm gun, it would be a ludicrously strong tier 9 vehicle, never mind a tier 8. So, yeah, honestly, I would say this thing here would be more fit in tier 9 than the M103. M103 is a tier 8 premium.
The whole rollout aim fire hide procedure takes just seconds.
And yeah, now it's just going to kill the Object 252. Yeah, again, I think you probably need a prime round to actually pen the Object 252 reliably. And now they're going to mention some of the gun stats, but notice how quickly they actually gloss over the actual gun. They mention it for I think about 15 seconds of the video is dedicated to the gun, and they show one shot where the prime round it pens the Type 4 Heavy. So yeah.
Of 260mm for emergencies. However, aiming at vulnerable spots is no problem with that.
15 to 25 seconds on the actual gun, and everywhere else is just about the armor and the mobility. And then there's the bit that annoys me the most about this video. We say this. It's showing like how quickly this thing can react to situations, and then there's an M26 Pershing, tier 8 medium, same tier as this thing. That's an American medium. It's not a slow medium. I've driven that tank. It's not a slow medium by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's a good tank. But as you're going to see here, the only time the Pershing is able to outmaneuver this thing is when it's going downhill. The second it's going uphill or it's on level ground, the Chrysler K has the total advantage. I mean, like there was a brief time where I got one shot into the Chrysler K. After that, the Pershing's fucked. It cannot get around the Chrysler K. It gets shots in that can actually pen.
The Chrysler GF is an interesting.
See that's going to be most tanks fighting this tank. Like, they cannot outmaneuver this tank. Like, that's one of the main issues. That's why the T-125 was so overpowered for such a long time. You couldn't outmaneuver it. It was fast, and its gun was really, really good. This thing is basically T-125 at tier 8. Except it doesn't have the extra 2 degrees of gun depression the T-125 has. But this thing has side armor, unlike every other American Heavy. So, I guess that makes up for it. And this is pretty much the summary for the end of the video. And yeah, this is the tank that caused this entire shitstorm. Yes, and this entire shitstorm, all Wargaming's fault because they suck at balancing. And that tagline there at the end, ready for anything, sums up that tank perfectly. It can handle literally any situation that it comes across with pretty much no issues whatsoever. So yeah, this entire shitstorm, all because of this tank, and because of Wargaming's shitty balancing. So, yeah. This all could have been avoided if either it had weak side armor, or these were weak points, or if this was a weak point. None of them were weak points. So people got annoyed. Fosh got annoyed, made his video. Then after that video, this whole shitstorm happened. You could say that you could blame it on Fosh, but Fosh, his main points were right. The way he said them, not exactly the greatest way of saying them, but his main points were correct. This tank is really shittily balanced. It's overpowered. 252 was overpowered. I was willing to give them the 252 as a one-off, but the very next tier rate heavy they put out was yet again another 252, except it didn't have very good standard rounds. So you have to fire premium rounds. That doesn't help the situation, that makes it worse in my opinion. Because at least 252 can actually use standard rounds, even though most 252s I come across seem to fire premium rounds for some reason. But yeah, Wargaming, yeah, they're basically really fucked up. And it's kind of sad that the game that I've played for 6 years roughly now is kind of going down the shitter now, because Wargaming fucked up badly when balancing a tank. And thing is, I would have more sympathy for them if this was the first tank they badly balanced, but it's not. They saw the reactions to 252. Everybody was saying it was going to be overpowered, and the only reason why it hasn't been proven to be ridiculously overpowered is because idiots drive them. Because it's an idiot-proof tank, idiots drive it, and they can't take full advantage of it. But this tank here has a much higher skill cap than the Object 252. It's got a higher rate of fire. It's got more DPM. And its armor overall, I would say, can actually be more efficient in a lot of places. But, yeah. This tank in the hands of a good player. Any other tier 8 in the game, I can't think of another tier 8 in the game that could beat this thing in a 1-on-1 fight without premium rounds. And that's with this thing using standard rounds as well. So, yeah, not exactly a great situation. So yeah, I guess that really finishes up my video on this. Originally, my original recording of this year was about 10 minutes, but then after the entire Fox situation blew up, I kind of watched a couple of Jingles videos on the situation. I decided that I could make it a bit more like this tank is the reason why this whole shitstorm's happening. And well, I imagine Wargaming is loving the publicity for this year because, well, the Wargaming League thing is coming up right now. And I say that sarcastically, by the way. I don't actually think they're loving the bad publicity they're getting, because that's basically going to put their Wargaming League thing down the shitter. And yeah, it's kind of fitting. They introduced an overpowered premium to make money, and it could be the thing that kills the game. So yeah, being greedy in the short term, not exactly the greatest thing to do. So yeah, hopefully whatever the hell happens, I think the game will probably survive for another couple of years, but I think the main majority of the YouTubers that cover the game are actually leaving the game for the most part. So yeah, like Jingles said, next couple of weeks will probably remain World Tanks content mainly, but he is diversifying his content. He definitely said he's going to do that because, well, why would you put up with like Wargaming and all they had to do was keep their mouths shut, but they completely fucked up the situation. If you don't know what I mean, watch Jingles' latest video on it. The one where he says he has an announcement to make. It was after the Mingles with Jingles video. I think it was 198 or something like that. And you can see the entire shitstorm and how it unraveled and what Wargaming NA's reaction was, and why that caused this entire thing to go down the shitter. So yeah, this is the cause of all those issues. So yeah, that's about all I really have to say. So let me know what your opinions on this situation are. Yeah, as I said originally, meant to be a much more light-hearted video, taking the piss out of what Wargaming did with this tank, but after watching a couple of videos on this thing, on like the entire shitstorm that ensued, I decided it was probably a bit more fitting to have this kind of video on. So yeah, let me know what you think, as I said, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.